Hey everybody, come on in. This is the Daily Bern. We're going to start in just a minute. Took me a second there. I was sharing. I got to share a little bit. Got to get it out. We got to be the media. So you share too. Please share this out. Get it out there. Share it out as far as you can. We got to do that. Share independent shows. This is just a little independent show. So share it out. Get it out there. I really appreciate that. Plus, interact in the video, like and comment. Any interaction helps us get out and do better in the algorithm and get out to more viewers. So I would really appreciate that. Plus, I love reading your comments, and I would like this to be an ongoing discussion. You know, I like our little talks. I've grown quite fond of hanging out with you guys and doing these daily burns. You know, But what this is it's the war room of the political revolution. This is a place where we gather every day and we talk about this fight that we're in, this political revolution. And that's what it is. And we talk about that every day, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Central. And but we talk about how we're going to win and how to win. We don't sit and complain and whine about everything we're up against. We don't ignore it either. We talk about it. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it for sure. We have to deal with these things, but we're up against them. We understand that us whining about it won't change anything, that we have to make real change by making the effort, putting in the work. And we understand that and are willing to do so. That's what's going to make this happen. Millions of us standing united and doing the work to win this revolution, which is what this is. It's being hidden, it's being suppressed, and we get into that. We talk about that. That's because the media is a weapon. The media was weaponized long ago. And it's used against us, unfortunately, to a staggering level. And the average person lives a complete and total lie. They don't even know what's real, what's actually happening in the world around them. They live in a literal matrix of lies and propaganda. And these cameras of the mainstream media, they're not pointed at us. They're not pointed at this revolution. They don't want anyone to see what is happening. Because the powers that be, their biggest threat is for the people to ever realize that they have real power if they stand united. That's the only thing, and they spend a lot of time and effort making sure that we never do that we never do stand united. They put a lot of focus into making sure that never happens. But if we do, when we do, we are capable of making massive change and have done it throughout history. That's the way it's always happened. Everything that we have that we may take for granted now, we got through standing united by the millions and making our voices heard and demanding it. Nothing was given to us ever at any point out of the goodness of anyone's heart. No one decided one day, hey, I think that I'm going to give these people a 40-hour work week. You know, I'm going to let them unionize. I'm going to I'm going to stop using child labor. You know, I don't think these people ever had real revelations like that and decided that to do these things. I don't think that's how they happened, in the history books. Even the history that you're taught in school, which isn't real history, but if you really look at history, it's always happened by movements of people standing united. Wars have been ended by people standing up. People have power when they stand united, and it's happening right now worldwide. Things are getting bad. It's hidden from the average American how bad things actually are, but things are bad in a big way, and they can get a lot worse. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. They can get a lot worse and will get a lot worse if the people don't do something. Because, as I've said, nothing has ever happened out of the goodness of those in power's heart. It's always been because we stood united and demanded it. So they'll never self correct. They'll never decide to do the right thing. We have to take this and stop them. Put a stop to where this is heading. This is all heading for destruction. This can't sustain. People say that we're being socialist. They'll use that, which they've always used socialism as a scare tactic anytime. Any rights and things that we take for granted, like the Medicare program and Social Security. Whenever they pushed for any of these things, they called them socialism. And they use it to scare people because people equate that word with communism, and because they've been taught to be triggered by that word. And I've seen people say, well, Bernie should shy away from the socialism thing because of that. No, I like that he owns it, because you need to inform people and educate them what that word is so it can stop being used to make them afraid and get them to vote outside of their best interest, which is what it's done and what it's used for. It makes you afraid of things that are for you, for your benefit, for society. I'm getting really frustrated with Facebook, and I'm going to stop looking at it. I've been told on numerous occasions not to complain, but I'm being fully throttled on Facebook now. I've invited people that I know are really good about sharing, and I know there's people here that says there's only one person here on Facebook. It's really aggravating me. You can't get this message out anymore. It's being suppressed. A lot of people that are in this revolution, fighting in this political revolution, are being suppressed and jailed on Facebook and throttled, and no one's seeing their posts. This is happening right now in our day and age. The truth is being shut down and eliminated. It is dying in real time, and it's very frustrating being someone that's trying to spread the truth. Every little show that I do, they all center around the same thing, and that's the truth. What I'm telling you on the Daily Bern every day is the truth. We're going to win this revolution because we're doing what needs to happen. That's the truth. They don't want you to know that. They don't want people to hear that, and they don't want anything to do with this revolution or Bernie or any of it to get any attention, to catch on, to build an audience. They want to keep it down to the point that they would suppress a small town guy like me from rural Missouri doing a show from my bedroom. It makes me mad. It really makes me angry. Because I'm doing a watch party of the show on Facebook. And if you are a Facebook user, those are great, by the way. And I think maybe Facebook has closed that loophole, because I can see that there are people here at the watch party. There are a few people here, but I can't see any of your comments. And if you're here at the live, it still shows me just one person. I see no comments. This is happening. The only reason why I'm bringing it up, not whining, not complaining. The only reason why I'm bringing it up is because we're watching truth die. And truth is our weapon. What are we going to fight with if not the truth? They're taking it away. They're making it hard. We're going to have to guerrilla style this and do it on the streets and just do it in our daily lives. But know that anyone that it gets any kind of a voice trying to spread this message is going to be suppressed on social media, because social media is part of the mainstream media, and the mainstream media is a weapon. It is weaponized propaganda and is used against us. It's used to enslave humanity, misdirect us, get us to support things we would never support. People aren't inherently bad. They're misinformed, you know, and people want these things that we're fighting for. Hey, Herbert, people want these things that we're fighting for. 70% of people support Medicare for all. 70%. Hey, Royce. Okay, look, this is a good example. There are two people here on Facebook. For a fact, I know that because I'm seeing their comments. It says there's one. Still says one. They take away what I care about. Like, I like knowing who's here. I like being able to see that. So they mess with you. They know I care about views. I probably said it in front of my phone. Your phone is listening to you all the time. This is the Daily Bern, not conspiracy theories and chill. I need to make sure I don't get sidetracked. But this is all real. The mainstream media is propaganda and a weapon. It's used against us. And Facebook and Google and YouTube and all of this is part of the mainstream media. You know, Bernie is suppressed even in Google searches and on YouTube and on Facebook. Herbert says it says 9 there. Okay, man. I still show 1 on my phone. That's weird. That is super weird. I'm going to try reloading it. I'll refresh. I shouldn't even mention it. I really shouldn't. But they're throttling me, and it bothers me because I keep going in and out of Facebook sharing jail. And okay, I reloaded. Now it says 6. I'm going to quit even talking about it. But I keep getting put in sharing jail, and it's frustrating me. But we have to spread the truth and be the media. And that's what this show is for, and that's what this show is about. And the message that I want to get across today, you know, we try to focus on the fight that we're in. The message I want to get across is that this is our time. Our time is right now. We're never going to get a better opportunity than this. This is a golden opportunity being handed to us on a silver platter. There's no way this won't work. If we get behind it, do all we can, and fight, and stay vigilant, and stay in this fight, and make our voices heard, there's no way we can be beaten. There's no way we can be stopped. And our time is right now. This is the time to fight. Even if you're mad, even if you're hurt, and you're jaded by 2016, get involved and fight. We're going to win. We're going to win. And we will hold all these people accountable, every single one of them. No one is above that. We can make massive change here. We can do this. This can happen. All we have to do is reach a tipping point. If we reach that tipping point, we cannot be stopped. We can overwhelm their system. And they will use everything they have to stop us. But our time is right now. This is our time. This fight will be looked back on in history. It will not be shown as it happens, but when it's looked back on in history, it will be seen as the time that we turned our society around and made massive change, took control of our destiny and our future. We're doing it right now. There is more than 3 million people volunteering right now to help move this revolution forward and get Bernie elected president and make massive change happen. Not by getting Bernie elected. That's going to be a nuclear strike, is what I always call it, because that's going to hit them all the way to their core, because the establishment is trying to stop that with everything they have. They're doing all they can to stop Bernie Sanders from becoming president. And the reason why is to stop us. It's not to stop Bernie. They're not afraid of Bernie. They're afraid of us. They're afraid of what Bernie represents and what's behind Bernie, which is us, all of us. They're trying to stop us. But electing Bernie is going to send a message that's going to ripple through society and show everyone that no matter what they do, they can be overwhelmed. We can win. We can beat them. And it's going to have to be a Hail Mary type of thing. I think that's what Bernie's doing here and why it's so beautiful. It is a Hail Mary type of thing, but it can work. It's going to work. It's like when the coach huddles you all up and you realize, dude, this is totally going to work. And it is. All we got to do is everything that we can and execute it. The plan is in place. We have an excellent plan already in place. They've done a fantastic job laying the groundwork. All we need to do is our part. And our part is to be the media and spread the truth, get the word out, inform people, do all that. That's what we do. And you do that in any way that you can. If you have time, volunteer. Go to BernieSanders.com. I include a link in the Daily Bern every day to BernieSanders.com. Go there. See if there's any way that you can help out the campaign by volunteering or donating any amount, anything at all, even $1. Everything helps. It's a completely publicly funded campaign, and we're up against big money. Big money is going to put a lot behind trying to stop us. I was watching videos yesterday on YouTube and saw at least 2 propaganda videos, commercial ads against Medicare for All, trying to scare people. You won't be able to pick your own doctor, this and that. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. And we have to stop it. We got to change. We got a lot to do. It's a lot. And those of us in this fight that are committed to this fight and committed to doing all we can to make sure we win and move it forward, understand that we have a lot to do. We understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And we're going to have to push as hard as we possibly can to get it and to make the change actually happen, because first off, getting Bernie elected is just one part. It's just one little section in the whole plan. We have to stay vigilant. We have to stay active. We have to stay in the system. We have to get in the system. Like my Babels is alderman. I'm thinking about running for something. I don't know what yet, but I'm figuring it out. I'm going to plan it out and figure out how to run for something. We need to do that. Actually get involved in government at all levels and make change from the ground up. Change happens from the ground up. It's the people that make change. No one person or any leader can do it themselves. And usually when it gets in a position where it can actually take place, it is stopped, usually by violent means. But I think right now they realize that they would create a martyr in Bernie Sanders. It's so much bigger than Bernie Sanders right now, and I don't know. I think they still think they can stop us. They're bluffing, and I think they know they're bluffing. They know that we have huge momentum. What we got going already, 3 million volunteers, over a million individual donations, that stuff's unheard of. Unheard of. For a small time politician, senator from Vermont, it's crazy. It's crazy that he has that amount of support. The size of the rallies, all of this that's going on, they see it, they know it, but they're overplaying their hand at this point if they think they can stop it. But we have to believe it. We have to believe that we can do this because you become what you think about, what you focus on. We need to focus on victory. We are winning. We're doing fantastic. The campaign is doing great. We'll get to that more later on in Bernie events. The campaign is doing a fantastic job. Bernie is doing a fantastic job. Um, we're doing great. Like I said, the volunteer numbers are fantastic, and that's going up every day. We'll get to 4 million. I'm positive of it. We're heading in that direction. So people are joining the fight, people are committing to the fight, and people are doing all they can in the fight. That is what's going to make it happen. And we're going to inspire people to join our fight and to fight along with us. That this is all happening right now. And like I said, it won't be reported as it happens, but it will be remembered in history. And we just have to believe and do the work. If we believe that we can do this and that it's possible and put the effort in, then the rest will fall into place because there is power in belief and there's power in persistence. If you want something and you believe it and you do the work and put in the effort and keep moving forward, even when you get knocked down, because life will knock you down. Life has a way of getting in your way when you're trying to do something in anything. And in this, we're up against a lot. So a lot's going to get in our way. And we just got to keep going. Some people, all you got to do is tell them no. You just say no and they'll quit. You can't have that. Okay. All right. I'll find something else I want, maybe that I can have. They're going to tell us no over and over again. They're going to tell us it's impossible all the way up until it happens. It's just the way it goes. It's the way it is. We're not here to negotiate. We're not here to listen. We're not looking for common ground. It's over. Those days are over. We're looking to take this over, to overwhelm it with our numbers. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have to overwhelm this rigged system with our numbers. That's what's going to make this change happen. And then we stay active. We stay involved. We stay in this fight. We keep pushing for this change. Hold everyone accountable, including Bernie. And we'll get it. That's how we'll get it. This will be massive. And once we get the ball rolling, the momentum of it will continue on its own too. You see what I'm saying? All of this starts happening just by getting enough of a push behind it. It will start growing on its own. It's the way it works. Psychologically, you reach a certain point and there's a turning point in momentum and in public perception. It's just true. We can do it. We can get there. You just got to increase our support, increase our what am I trying to say? Reach, I guess. Just how far the real media and real news gets out. Real good way to stay in touch with that is to follow the Bern Notice. That is the official newsletter of the Bernie Sanders campaign. They take all mainstream media, put it all in one place for you, make it real easy. And you can get updates to your email and follow everything that's being covered in the media that's relevant to the revolution and what we're doing and what we're trying to do. And and they also have original pieces too that are actually really good. David Sirota writes for them, and they're really good. The original pieces are great. So follow that. That'll keep you real informed. And if you're real informed, you'll be able to do a good job at informing others and capitalizing on opportunities that arise to inform others. Herbert says that is why the media and establishment is fighting so hard right now. The billionaires are out in force on all the news spreading propaganda. It's crazy. Like I said, I ran into two propaganda videos, ads on videos researching stuff that I research. It had nothing to do with even anything that would have brought that up, but they're throwing it on heavy. And the video is all about they're trying to take your choices away. They want government to control your health care. Big government. Well, by gosh, wouldn't that just be the most horrible thing that's ever happened in the world? They're going to take away your choice of doctor. Look, if you are a doctor in a Medicare for All society and you don't take Medicare for All, you're an out of business doctor. Every doctor will take Medicare for All. It's scare tactics. They're trying to scare you into voting against your best interests. And it works, is what's terrifying. So we have to inform people so we can turn the tide of that and make it less effective. You know, do something to fight. And that's all we can do. And that's enough. It may seem like it's not much. Like, oh, it's not much. Sharing news on Facebook or talking to people, informing people in your real life and your family and friends, and taking the opportunities as they arise, that don't matter. Yes, it does. Absolutely, it does. Why wouldn't that matter? That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Because somewhere in that flood of propaganda and weaponized mass media, you need to have truth sprinkled in there. And of course it gets through. Of course these seeds grow. People see something because we're sharing the truth that they may not see otherwise. And it allows them to grow. It's what's causing this mass awakening that is actually happening, that has led to this revolution being possible. Bernie's been fighting for this stuff for 40 something years. This isn't new to Bernie Sanders. He's been consistent and been fighting for this stuff for decades. What's new is the opportunity to win, this mass awakening and awareness of the people, and this rising up, the ability to rise up, to be able to come together. It's taken a lot, you know. I I've been waiting a long time for people to start waking up faster. It's still not happening fast enough. I get people that tell me I'm being too gloomy about that, but I think it needs to happen faster. It's got to happen. This has got to win. We've got to win. And then we have to stay active and keep pushing forward because we need this change to happen. Kathy said Amazon is spending 1.5 million to stop a small town progressive and lost. They are afraid of us. They are terrified of us. And they should be. They should be. They know that. It's happening. It's happening right now. And we're part of it. This is historic. We're living out history right now. And this change that is happening needs to happen. This has got to happen. It's very important that this goes forward and we make this happen. And we know that. We understand that. And that's what we gather here every day and we talk about. Because it's important to, well, I thought it would be important to have a place and a show that talked about what we're up against, but also talked about the fact that we can win this, that this is the way it has always happened. Someone besides Bernie needed to be saying that. I think people need to hear it because we're led to believe that nothing is possible, that we can't have these things, that they're pipe dreams and they're unreal, and our expectations are too high. Well, that's ridiculous. They don't think their greed is out of hand. They don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's all fine. These people are unreasonable. So we're not trying to reason with them, not looking to negotiate with them. There is no negotiating with them. That's all done. We are going to overwhelm their system and take it over from the ground up. Put in the work and the effort to take back our country by force. Our strength is in our numbers and our unity. And the more and more of us are realizing that every day and coming together, and when enough of us are standing united, there will be absolutely nothing that can be done to stop us. No matter what they do, and they will do everything that they can to stop us, but it won't matter. It will not matter. Herbert says they didn't bluff in 16, we did. Well, when we're honest, I really believe that if you're honest and you look back on it, you realize that we fell short. It was us that failed, and in the end, this is our fight and our responsibility, and it doesn't happen unless we make it happen. So if we lose, we lose. Just like if we win, we win. But we're the ones that lose. We need to own it. It's our fight. We can't, in defeat, hide behind, oh, well, Bernie lost. No, we all lost. We all lost. And it's not going to happen again. We're not going to allow it to happen again. But Kathy says the dream ticket would be Bernie and Nina Turner. Kilo says burn and turn. I would love to see that. She's very inspirational, very motivational, gets people real fired up, would create a lot of excitement, which is good. That's what needs to happen. But if I was a gambling man, my guess would be Tulsi. I'm guessing that Tulsi would be the VP pick. But that's just if I was going to bet. I want Nina too. That would be amazing. It really would be great. AOC I could also see being picked. Because you gotta know it's going to be a political choice. And somebody I think the VP is often insurance. And people with concerns of Bernie's age would like a young person, and then it's definitely going to be a woman probably. Why did I just say definitely probably? It's definitely going to be a woman, I think. If I was going to bet, I would bet on a woman. Kathy says he will choose someone to carry on his message. I will believe it will be Nina. I hope you're right. Tulsi would make a great Secretary of State. I often think that too, that she may end up as Secretary of State. But I just think I guess because I want Nina to be the VP, that it would never happen because it feels like too much of a fantasy ticket to me. I would love to see it. AOC is too young, Kilo says. I thought maybe she might be. I wasn't positive. I knew there was an age restriction on the president, but I wasn't sure if there was on the VP. But it makes sense that there would be because the VP could become president. So that totally makes sense. I don't even know why I thought it could be her. But Kilo said he said it was going to be a woman. I thought he had said that. Herbert says Bernie and Gabbard. She was the only person to stand with Bernie in 2016. Politically, he's right. And she ruined her career, really, to do it. You know, the establishment turned on her. She was a darling of the establishment. They were putting a lot behind Tulsi, and she put it all on the line for integrity. That means something. That definitely means something. And moving forward, I think she's proven herself with the progressives. Although I don't agree with a lot of stuff with Tulsi too, like especially her stance on Medicare for all. I'm all in on Medicare for all. You know, you got to be for Medicare for all, or I'm not for you. So that bugs me. Her stance on that, and but Nina would be great. Nina's fantastic. Nina's my favorite to watch speak at a Bernie rally, and then Killer Mike is really good. Killer Mike is a great speaker and does a real good job motivating people. And Bernie has a lot of good surrogates. You know, a lot of people have signed on and do good work supporting Bernie, like Danny Glover is a big Bernie surrogate. Danny DeVito. There's a lot of big stars that are. Kathy says Bernie said a younger woman of color. Ooh, it's looking more like Nina. Nina. You know, that would be great. I would be absolutely thrilled with a Bernie Nina ticket. And I think it would win. But I just, I'm going to be happy when I see us doing this. When I see us, I'm going to be a lot happier when the voting starts. When the voting starts and we start getting our chances to flex, that's what I'm going to be happy about. Because we're going to be able to show our strength once we get to vote. Until then, it's just our word against theirs. You know, they can sit there and sell their lies and push their fake polls and all this garbage and try to convince people that there's support that doesn't exist for Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden, that they are the front runners when it's very clear who the front runner is. It's ridiculous. Kyle says Facebook is pissing me off with this censorship jailing BS. It's ridiculous. And the feed's doing well. It's doing okay, but they're still throttling because, like right now, it says 9. But if I refresh, it'll tell me who's actually here. But this used to be real time. So see, it's actually 6. But earlier it was stuck on 14 and then it was stuck on 1. It's not my phone. There's nothing wrong with my phone. They throttle stuff. And you know, like I said, I've been told not to complain and I'm trying not to complain about it, but it's hard not to, especially when you're trying to share content and you're trying to do stuff like I do and make little shows like this and get them out to people. It gets very frustrating and hard not to complain about it. And I also feel like we need to worry because the truth is being silenced and suppressed and eliminated. And that's bad. That's very scary. But to get back to the show real quick, let's get back to Bernie events. This is something that you usually do every show. We've gotten a little lazy with it lately, and But I'm going to try to get back to really doing this every episode. So I think it's good to know and put it out there what Bernie's up to and what's going on with the campaign. And it's fun to follow it and stay informed with it. A good way to stay informed on Bernie events and what's going on with the campaign is to text the word Bernie to 67760. And that will enroll you in the official campaign texting service. And volunteers like me that do the texting will text out information relevant to you in your area for the revolution and keep you informed. So just text Bernie to 67760 or get the Bern app or watch this show. I'll keep you informed. Bernie's next big events, they're heading to California the 15th through the 17th for 4 events, 2 rallies on the 15th and 16th. And then other things that have gone on with the campaign recently is they dropped 2 new ads. One hit in New Hampshire. I love how they drop them like rap singles. And the other one hit in Iowa. They're called Fight for Us and Belongs to Us. And the themes of the videos are just like the title suggests, that Bernie fights for us and belongs to us. And then Bernie unveiled a new veterans agenda called Honoring Our Commitment to Veterans. And I wanted to go a little bit into that and look at that a little bit, but I got to pull it up because I don't trust my memory and I don't want to mess it up, because there was a really nice quote from Bernie about it, but it goes into detail on how Bernie believes, and I believe, I think it's undeniable that we don't take care of our veterans. But this is what Bernie had to say about it, because this is from the release. It says that honoring our commitment to veterans, which will guarantee veterans the benefits and services they were promised, protect and expand disability benefits for veterans, guarantee justice for veterans, and expand for veterans. The proposal comes as Americans around the country honor Veterans Day. It says, as a nation, we have a moral obligation to provide the best quality care to those who put their lives on the line to defend us. Sanders, who served as chairman of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee from 2013 to 2015, said, just as planes and tanks and guns are a cost of war, so is taking care of the men and women who we send off to fight the wars. It includes caring for the spouses and children who have to rebuild their lives after the loss of a loved one. It includes caring for the hundreds of thousands of veterans with multiple amputations or the loss of eyesight, post-traumatic stress disorder, and traumatic brain injury. It includes veterans who are having difficulty keeping jobs in order to pay their bills. And it includes the terrible tragedy of veterans committing suicide. This isn't in there, but 22 a day. As president, I will do everything that I can to make sure that every veteran gets the benefits that they are entitled to on time and without delay. Further, we will not dismantle or privatize the VA. We will expand and improve the VA. And then it goes on to talk about what Sanders did during his time on the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee. And the senator, it says, as a campaign, released a video, Keeping Our Promise, which highlights Sanders' work on that landmark legislation. And then it goes on to say what the bill would do. So Sanders' plan would fill nearly 50,000 vacancies at the VA during your first year in office. Under a Bernie Sanders administration, the VA will hire the doctors, nurses, and medical professionals necessary to provide the care that veterans need when they need it. It will also provide at least $62 billion in new funding to repair, modernize, and rebuild the infrastructure at the VA in order to provide the cutting-edge healthcare services our veterans have earned and deserve. It will also ensure that all those with prior military service in every state and territory have access to the full complement of healthcare services that they need to stay healthy and well. It will improve and simplify the claims process so veterans receive the compensation they have earned quickly, accurately, and without bureaucratic red tape. Reform harmful VA regulations that restrict access to care and benefits based on character of discharge. Ensure that veterans can use the full complement of benefits through the GI Bill without the hassle or red tape. So it sounds amazing. I'm going to look into it deeper myself, and you can do that if you'd like to on berniesanders.com as well with the link in the description. They lay out everything really well on there, and because they want you to understand it. The better you can understand it, the better you can explain it to people and inform them. These are good policies that are to help move society forward, to move it more in a direction of justice. You know, we want a society of justice for the people, not one of endless war and corporate greed, corporate welfare, even. We don't have to allow it. We don't have to live in this greed based system. We can change it, we can bring it down. It's possible. It can be done. We're doing it right now. And that's what we want to talk about on this show every day. That's what I thought was important to get out and help people to know and hear is that we can do this. We are doing it. Hold on. There was some comments on YouTube. YouTube went down for a second and I reloaded the page. But it says, let's see, where did I leave off? Kilo says, I was a tanker in the U.S. Army for 10 years from a military family. I only trust Bernie. Bernie has a fantastic record with fighting for veterans benefits and all of that and fighting against war. You know, he has a good track record with all of that. We have a fantastic candidate in Bernie Sanders. But if we want to stop this endless war, if we want to stop the military industrial complex, which has a huge hold over our entire system of government, it's going to take us standing united. We have to do all of this. This is our fight. You know, not me, us is not just a fancy campaign slogan. It's the truth of the situation. This is about us. We have to do this. And this is a fight. It's just not a fight you've ever been taught about. You've never been taught or told how to participate in democracy. This is what democracy looks like. This is what is supposed to happen. This is what needs to happen. And it is. That's the exciting part. It is. You know, it's not like I don't have to sit here and have a show where I go, hey guys, we got to do this. We got to make this happen. It is happening. All we have to do is get in the fight, stay in the fight, do all we can, and help it move forward. And we will win. Herbert says if you complain, the terrorists win. Oh, yeah. You can't let the terrorists win. And that is how the terrorists win. Kyle says, thanks, Sean, for all your time, efforts, and consideration. I'm impressed. Thank you, man. Dude, this is important to me. And I believe in it. You know, I'm not just getting on here and saying all this because I don't know, for any reason. I'm doing it because I believe it. And I'm not an optimistic dreamer type person. I'm realist. I'm always realistic and I'm negative a lot of times. I know this is the way it's always happened. This is the way it happens. Throughout history, not just American history, human history. Any change, any progress has always been because the people stood united and demanded it. Our power is in our numbers, and in every society, they have used divide and conquer tactics to break us up, keep us weak, keep us divided and unable to fight, unable to stand up against it, unable to do anything. Because when we stand together, we can win, and we're gonna win. And this says 9 pound hammer tonight. I don't know what that means. I like it though. Hey Dion, nice to see you here. We're gonna do a longer burn because I don't get to do my news show tonight. There will not be a news show tonight. I decided I'm doing too many, and I wasn't able to really research it like I needed to, especially the news show. The news show was probably the hardest of the news shows that I've taken on. I'm not getting rid of it. It'll probably be a monthly thing until I get maybe some more contributors and some more writers and people helping with that kind of stuff. Because filling a news show is a lot of work. Um, and that took a lot out of my research time, which I was only researching on Tuesdays. That's not enough. So I need to have more research days. So I'm cutting back on that for a couple different reasons. So tonight I'm going to research. I'm looking at all kinds of stuff that a lot of people have been really good to send me, and I haven't had time to look at. Already tonight I've learned a bunch of cool stuff, and I'm sure I'll learn more. But I watched some stuff that Herbert had sent me a while back, and I hadn't gotten to it, and it was great. So I'm looking forward to going through a lot of that stuff and catching up and having extra time to be able to do that. And we will do the news show, but it'll probably be like a monthly thing or bi-weekly until I get more caught up, or when we get more supporters. Eventually this will be my full-time job, so it'll come back. It will come back. It's not going away forever. But this happens every day at 7 p.m. Central. This is the Daily Bern, the war room of the political revolution. And we gather here every day at 7 and talk about this fight that we're in because I think it's important. I think it's important for us to have a place where we can draw inspiration and inspire each other and share stories. I hope that eventually this gets an audience and gets out and gets a following, and people start communicating with each other in the comments. And then if you're having trouble in this fight, you come here to be built up, and reach out, and we build a support system for our viewers. Help each other stay focused, because that's all they can do to win is break our spirit, and we fight them by keeping them out of our head, not letting them break our will, not succumbing to their weaponized media, their propaganda machine, not letting it have power over us. Don't let it affect your vibrations, your goals. Don't let it affect your focus or where you're deciding to take things. Why did my phone make that weird noise? To distract me. The man messing with me through technology. It might be about to die though. No, I don't know why it did that. But this has been the Daily Burn. Like I said, man, we do this. Who am I talking to? Man? Sometimes when I get going for like an hour, weird things come out of my mouth. Well, we do this every day at 7. And I've been doing it for about 5 months. And I love doing it. It's gotten to the point where this is like the favorite of all of the little shows that I do, because it makes me be a better person, because I can't get on here and talk to you guys if I'm down. So I got to build myself up every day just to do this. And that is helping me grow. So I benefit a lot from this show just because of that. My other baby is Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and we're going to be back with a brand new episode of that Wednesday night. And we're covering Ruby Ridge, which is very fascinating. And I'm going to be researching more into that because I'm thinking about redoing the video. I already have it written and recorded, but and it's like 9 minutes long, but I'm thinking I can make it a little longer. I always try to keep the Conspiracy Theories and Chill video a little brief so that we have a lot more time to talk. But I think I could there's a little information that I left out that I want to squeeze in and still keep it under 15 minutes. So I'm thinking about taking another crack at it. Herbert says that's what she said. That's a good way to end out. I think that's a good way to go out with that's what she said joke. I think Michael Scott would be very proud of me and Herbert for being so brilliant and so hilarious. Nissa, what's a 9-pound hammer? Please tell me. I gotta know before we wrap up tonight. I gotta know what a 9-pound hammer is. I can't have that be a central part of my research because I'm gonna have to look it up. And you know where I'm gonna go to look it up is Urban Dictionary. And are they gonna tell me the right thing, or is it gonna be something filthy? You know what I mean? I don't. What's a 9-pound hammer? Is that like a construction slang term? Some kind of slang term. Dying to know. I'm gonna private message you, Nissa. Dying to know what a 9-pound hammer is. But sorry about complaining about Facebook. I apologize for that. I try not to. I really do. But it is frustrating. It's frustrating. I've been in Facebook jail a lot lately. Not full blown Facebook jail, but Facebook sharing jail, which to me is worse than Facebook jail. Not being able to share it is the same thing as taking my toys away. I might as well be in real Facebook jail. I've been told I haven't really earned my stripes, but oh, Kyle says 9-pound hammer time is a strain of weed. Nissa says weed. You guys live in a legal state. I'm so jealous of you. You know what I mean? You go to a store to buy your stuff and it has names. I go to some shady guy's apartment and it sucks. But that's only until the first of the year. The first of the year, all that changes. All that changes. And it becomes legal medically in the state of Missouri. Is that unreal or not? To me, that's unreal. I can't believe it, and I'm like a kid at Christmas. Matter of fact, it's going to be like Christmas, New Year's Eve. I'm staying up till midnight. I'm going to be in line at the dispensary when they first open their doors. I am so excited. I went on a vacation to Colorado once just to experience it, and it was phenomenal. Just to shop in a store, and the store looked like an Apple store. It was fantastic, and everything had names, and I forget the name of what I bought, but I remembered it for a long time. But it was the first time I ever bought weed with a name. You know what I mean? I wanted the Willie Nelson strain. I remember what I wanted was the Willie Nelson stuff, but it was out of my price range. Nissa says Bubba Kush, Sativa. Hey, Brian. Herbert says classic. What is classic? Is classic that CD stuff that we used to get in high school? That's what I would consider classic. Kyle says burn one for Bernie, y'all. Yeah, I figured I might as well light this. I've been holding it for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed it waving around, but I've been holding it in my hand for like 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little longer than 15 minutes. Because I was going to cave and light it at 30 minutes. And then I was like, no, dude, you can make it the whole hour. And then I was like, okay, I'll make it an hour. And then at an hour, I was like, dude, I can light my cigarette now, right? I can light it now. But are you not allowed to say the S word? SHIT on YouTube? I don't want to say it if you're not allowed. I don't want to get banned, but it won't let me show your comment, Kilo. Kilo said, really? No shit. I said it. I always mess up and say it. I try not to cuss on these anymore. Herbert says, I want the first dispensary in Tennessee. There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money in it. There's so much money being left on the table. There's so much money to be made in legal marijuana. And people are realizing that. And they're also realizing that the fear of it is manufactured. There is nothing wrong with marijuana. And Kathy says, we don't care if you smoke. Right on. Kilo says, I smoke too, man. It's just unprofessional. I'm trying to be professional. I got my big boy pants on. You know, these are professional shows now. I'm a professional live streamer. So I want to be professional about it. And I've been told that the smoking looks bad. I think I look incredibly cool. And you remember when they used to smoke on TV? People used to smoke on TV, you know? Nissa says, did you hear what Bernie said? I'm not on pot right now. Um, no. What did Bernie say? Bernie says a lot of cool stuff. I'm sure I missed something. No, Kathy says I don't see that comment. You want to see it? It's asking me to hide it. I'll show it to you. It's giving me, ask me show hide. There it is. I put it out there. I don't know why it made me. Sometimes when on YouTube, it'll flag a comment and it'll ask me if I want to show it, and I never know. Like, cause you're held responsible on YouTube for your comments. That's weird, right? I don't feel responsible for the comments. Matter of fact, what can I do? You know, on Facebook, it doesn't flag them. It doesn't give me the opportunity to stop you. You know, someone was here the other day, said a bunch of off the wall stuff, and I couldn't put a stop to it. You know, because it was on Facebook. YouTube flags that stuff, though. Kilo says, sorry, man, didn't know they can get you for your comments. My fault. Oh, yeah. And they warn you before you do a live stream, if you read the settings, you know, like, and I'm trying to look at the rules more now. But I was warned by other streamers before I came to YouTube to watch your comment section. But yeah, your channel can be taken down. So, Nissa says on Twitter, a cute thing they made out of him, a video. That's what he said when asked about legal weed. I'm not on pot right now. He said that? That's hilarious. I love Bernie. Nissa said all DJs smoke, big deal. Yeah, but, well, this is live radio, basically. You know, there's a guy that's putting this on a radio channel, an online radio channel, but a radio channel. The Daily Bern is going to be on the House of Public Discourse Radio. Isn't that cool? It's pretty cool. You know, and I think that's great. I want this out to as many people as possible. You know, I'm glad that it's growing. And I'm glad that it's getting a following, because otherwise I would be talking to myself. You know, not that I don't do that. You know, George Carlin said that, you know, talking to yourself is the only way to have an intelligent conversation. That he would talk to other people, but he doesn't find them interesting. He said a lot of funny things. George Carlin was great. I miss Carlin. Another comic that was taken way too young is Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks was only 36. I can't imagine what else he would have had to say about the world if he'd have been allowed to live, and how many more people he would have woke up. Kathy says, I put a $ one time and they took me off the stream. I remember that. Yeah, control, she says. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's deep. And they also throttle on YouTube. They're open about it. They'll tell you that they'll throttle your videos if they consider them conspiratorial. Who decides what is conspiratorial? You know, who's the police of that? So it's whatever they don't think is popular. Whatever they don't want rising to the top won't rise to the top. That's the way they do it. That's the way they control us. And they're trying to suppress the truth. They're trying to eliminate it. And we can't allow it. We gotta stand and fight. You know, even if you don't fully support Bernie Sanders, you gotta be able to see that this is happening, right? This can happen and is happening and can make massive change. So even if you don't fully believe in everything, don't you at least agree that this greed-driven system needs to be brought to an end? Don't you see, even if you're jaded and hurt by what happened in 2016, don't you see that things are different now and that we can win? We're in a position to win. We can do this. We can do this. We are doing this. It's happening right now. You know, and it is a rigged game. And it is a big club and we aren't in it, like George Carlin would say. That's all true. It is rigged up and corrupt. We can overwhelm it. We can take it down if we realize our strength. And our strength is in our numbers and our unity. And if we use that and we stand united, we can win. We will win. We're going to win. Nissa says, my uncle had over 300 stations, Red Nickerson, and he smoked. I remember there was a time when they smoked on TV. The news anchor would smoke. But not anymore. And I've been told it's unprofessional, and I guess it is. I don't know. Nissa says AOC was so cute last weekend in Iowa. Yeah, she's great. You know, there's a lot of great endorsements for Bernie. She's one of them. Big name. Very great endorsement. It's exciting what's happening. And it is happening. You know, a lot of times you feel like you're living in an alternate reality because it's being hidden from the average person and it's being suppressed and we're being suppressed and our voice is being held back. So you feel like, oh, this isn't even taking place. It's totally happening and we're winning. We're crushing it. We're really doing great. But Kilo says the establishment is scared. They're terrified. They're for good reason. It's all coming to an end. Kathy says only 3% of the people for a successful revolution. 3%. It's doable. This can happen. It's within our reach, and we're heading in the right direction. We're doing what needs to happen to make this happen. So just keep moving forward. Keep fighting. Stay in this fight. And the most important thing is to keep your mind right. Believe it to your core that we will do this, that we will be victorious and we will win. And then do the work. Stay committed, stay active, and stay vigilant, and it will happen. We can make it happen. We can do this. We are doing this, and we will do this, because we have to do this. This is our time. The time is right now. So let's do it. Let's keep moving forward, keep doing all that we can, and we will win. Not Bernie, us. We're going to do this. It's our fight. It's up to us. No one can do this for us. Nobody. Not even Bernie. Nissa says, eat the billionaires. There shouldn't be billionaires. Billionaires shouldn't exist. You know, people say you shouldn't vilify billionaires, but they're literally villains. You don't achieve that level of wealth and riches without being a villain. And then You can even break it down further. They're not even paying into society. They use and benefit from society, don't even pay into it. They shouldn't exist. Kathy says they like to say blue wave, but it was progressives. The real truth is always hidden. That's their MO. That's what the media is for, is to hide reality from the average person, to distort it, to keep everyone confused. It's a weapon. It has been for a long time. Maybe one day enough people will realize it, wake up to it, and we'll be able to tear it down and build something new up in its place. And the media can be what it's supposed to be. The media is supposed to be the fourth wall of our government. It's supposed to be there to keep the power structure and the control structure in check. It's checks and balances, but that whole part of it was removed and replaced. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. Nissa says Jane will have to do something with her hair. She follows me on Facebook. Bernie, stop cutting down my trees. Horrible here in the Olympic National Forest. She says Fouquet Clinton. He did that. Yeah, Clinton is responsible for a lot of bad things. Clinton turned the Democrats into the Republican Party, and then the Republican Party lost their mind. They didn't know what to do. They went so far right, they're insane at this point. But Kilo says you had to step on a lot of people to get that much money. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Kilo says that their goal is to dumb down the population. And they have many, many ways that they go about doing that. Many of these ways we'll get into on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. But the media is one we focus on this show because it is our constant enemy. They are trying to color and shape reality. And they've been doing a fantastic job for a long time, but their hold is slipping. We're breaking down their hold over humanity. We are breaking through. And if we keep moving forward and stay focused and stay believing it, we can win. And that's exactly what it's going to take. That's all that will move this forward, is us. No one can do it for us. Kathy says they've been doing that well until Bernie woke us all up. Bernie woke a lot of people up. There's a mass awakening happening, and Bernie is responsible for a lot of it. Bernie's done a lot. Bernie's done great work. It's our turn now. It's our time. Right now. This is when we get to fight. We get to stand up to the evil in the world and make some change. Take a stand. We can do this. We do this. That's what we need to know and own. And when enough of us take that into heart and move forward united, it's over. It don't matter what they do. It does not matter what they do. And they will do everything that they did before, plus some stuff we probably haven't seen yet. I'm sure, certain of it, that they have things up their sleeve that we've yet to see. They'll pull everything they can. But in the end, it won't matter. But all the way up until then, they'll deny it. They'll say it isn't happening. They'll hide it. They'll distract people and make them look away from it and tell us it's impossible and say no over and over and over again. But we're not going to be deterred. We're going to stand our ground and keep moving forward, and they will fail to stop us. We will win. And that's the message of this show. That's what we talk about every day. So if you like this show, Kathy says we have Bernie 6. You're damn right. This is our job now. Bernie's doing his job. Bernie's doing fantastic at his job. I wish I was as good as my job as Bernie is at his job. Bernie's fantastic candidate. All we gotta do is what we gotta do. Our part. Be the media, spread the truth, inform people, get people active, get people involved, inspire them. We do that by acting like winners. We are winning. So use this momentum and let's move forward and win. We can do it. We are doing it. So keep doing it. Keep staying out there. Keep staying active. Keep staying in this fight. And we're going to win. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you again tomorrow at 7 for another episode of the Daily Bern. We do it every day at 7 p.m. Central. And I hope you're digging it. I hope you like it. So we're going to keep doing it. Even after Bernie gets elected, I'm going to keep doing it. I've decided this one's permanent. Out of all my shows, this one is not going anywhere. It's going to stick around. We're going to keep doing it. And regardless, no matter what happens in the future, I'm going to keep doing this because it helps me to be a better person. It helps me to grow. So I'm thinking it's got to be helping somebody else. Somebody else has to be getting some value from this show. I hope so anyway. I hope that people get some strength from it and feel motivated moving forward. That's the point. Kilo says Bernie's army is strong and massive. We are strong and massive. That's another thing they hide. They don't want anybody to see it. They don't want anybody to know. Because the average person would fall in line with us immediately and will once they see our strength. That's why they do so much to hide it. But it's not going to matter in the end. In the end, we're going to win. We will be victorious. They will lose. I firmly believe that. And when enough of us believe it and do everything we can and put in the work, we'll be unstoppable. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow at 7 for another episode of the Daily Bern. Thanks for watching. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting and taking part in the show. We're going to do this. We're going to win. See you later, guys.